Have you ever felt a weight on your heart? An inexplicable fatigue of the soul, as if each step in this world cost you immense energy? There is a key, a simple phrase that has spanned the ages, carried by the prophets, whispered by the wise, and revealed by Allah Himself. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. There is no strength and power except in Allah. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, taught us that these words are a treasure among the treasures of paradise. But today, this sacred key is unknown, underestimated, forgotten. What if I told you that repeated 120 times a day for 7 days could open unsuspected doors in your life? Prepare yourself for a powerful spiritual journey, where every word spoken will release divine energy within you. Man and his burden. Imagine a man walking alone in the night, a heavy bag on his back. Every step is a struggle, every breath is an effort. He feels something crushing him, but he doesn't know what. The weight of life. The worries of the next day. Mistakes of the past. This man is each of us. We all carry this invisible burden. Some feel it in their chest like a persistent anxiety. Others see it in their eyes, tired, emptied of all light. One day, a companion of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, came to him in this state, overwhelmed, exhausted, lost. He didn't need a long speech or a complicated solution. He wanted a key, a single sentence that could lighten his heart. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, gave him this precious key. This, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. There is no strength and power except in Allah. At that precise moment, something happened inside him. A weight has been lifted. His mind became clearer. A new force welled up within him. What happened? We often think that relief comes from an external change, a problem solved, an obstacle removed. But in reality, it all starts inside. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah is not a simple sentence. These are words of light, a divine code which realigns your soul with its source of energy, Allah. And whoever puts his trust in Allah, he is sufficient for him. Surah At-Talaq 65:3. Every time you say this phrase, you break the illusion of control. You realize that it is not your intelligence, your strength, or your will that directs everything, but Allah, the Omnipotent, the infinitely wise. It's like a wave that washes away the sand of doubts and fears, leaving room for a pure and peaceful beach. Have you ever met those people who seem to weather the storms of life with serenity? They fall, but they always get up. They lose, but they remain grateful. What is their secret? They are not superheroes. They just understood a profound truth, as they do not fight alone. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, taught us that La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah is a hidden treasure among the treasures of paradise. Why a treasure? Because by saying these words with sincerity, you open a door towards energy that never runs out. A divine force that soothes anxieties, breaks the chains of fear, gives courage in the face of trials. Remember that you are never alone, a force greater than you. Let's take the example of a leaf blowing in the wind. If it tries to resist the gusts alone, it will be swept away. But if she lets himself be carried, she dances with the breeze and reaches heights she never imagined. Likewise, when you say, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, you stop fighting alone. Allah is the defender of those who believe. Surah Al-Baqarah 257. You stop thinking that it's up to you to control everything, to solve everything, to carry everything. You let Allah be your guide, your protector, your strength. And suddenly, what seemed impossible becomes possible. What seemed heavy becomes light. The challenge. Are you ready to feel this divine energy? What if you tried now? Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Say it slowly. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Once again. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. What do you feel? A peace. A confidence. A force that comes from elsewhere. And now imagine repeating these words 20 times a day. For 7 days. What transformation would you experience? The companions of the Prophet felt it. Sages and scholars have experienced it. It's time for you too to unlock this treasure. The effect of this invocation on your destiny. Yasir was not a bad man, but life had broken him. Debts that were accumulating. Promises betrayed by those he trusted. Nights spent staring at the ceiling, throat tight with anxiety. Every morning he woke up exhausted, hopeless, sans issue. He prayed, but his heart was too heavy to feel anything. Until one day, when he met a wise old man, a man whose eyes reflected a peace that Yasir had never known. The old man said softly to him, "My son, stop struggling alone. Entrust yourself to the one who holds everything. Repeat, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Let these words be your buoy, your breath, your light." Yasir, skeptical, hesitated. How could simple words change my life? He thought. But he had nothing to lose. So he began, 120 times a day. The first day, nothing. Always this weight on the chest. The second day, a slight relief, like a breeze in a burning desert. The third day, a strange feeling, as if an invisible burden was starting to slip away. On the seventh day, a miracle, an unexpected call. A friend lost sight of for years. A sudden unforeseen opportunity, which allowed him to settle his debts in a few weeks. Yasir couldn't believe his eyes. Everything had changed. Was it a coincidence? No, Allah had promised. Whoever fears Allah, He will give him a favorable outcome and grant him sustenance from where he did not expect it. Surah At-Talaq 65, 2-3. The invocation that changes destiny, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. These words are not just a sentence. These are a key, a spiritual password that opens the invisible doors of destiny. We spend our lives warriors, has fight against the world, has tried to control everything. But this invocation reminds us a powerful truth. We are not alone. When we repeat La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, we are doing a step back. We leave Allah enters the equation. And when Allah enters the equation, the solutions appear. Signs that your destiny is changing. When we repeat this invocation with sincerity, something begins to happen. At first you don't notice it, but soon signs appear. An inner peace that you don't understand. Unexpected opportunities. Solutions to problems that seem impossible to solve. People who come into your life at the right time. It's as if the universe itself begins to align around you. And your Lord said, "Call on me, I will hear you." Surah Ghafir 40:60. Allah listen. Allah you can. Allah answers. And you? Are you ready to try? Imagine. And if you repeated this invocation 120 times a day for 7 days, what would happen? What if your burden was lightened? And if a light entered your heart? And if an unexpected opportunity arises? Would you dare to try? For centuries, science and spirituality seemed to follow separate paths. But today, modern science is beginning to validate what Islam has always taught. Words have power. Every sound, Every vibration emitted by our voice influences our inner state and even our environment. Studies carried out in neuropsychology show that repetition of witty phrases has profound effects on the mind and body. Reduced stress and anxiety, increased focus and mental clarity, elevation of the body's vibrational frequency. This phenomenon is known as spiritual neuroplasticity. In other words, the more you repeat a divine word, the more your brain reconfigures itself around this energy. What the Prophet, peace be upon him, already knew. But the effect of la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah goes well beyond simple psychological well-being. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, passed on to us a secret. He who often repeats la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah will have an open door among the gates of paradise. A door. Imagine for a moment. Every time you say these words, you knock on the door of divine mercy. And Allah always opens to those who strike with sincerity. But why these words in particular? Why does this invocation have an impact so powerful? The key to the invisible world, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, is not a simple sentence. It is absolute recognition, total submission to the infinite power of Allah. It means that no force in the world can exist without His permission. When you say these words, you realize three fundamental truths. 1. You have no control over this world. 2. Your strength does not come from yourself, but from Allah. 3. Letting go and submitting to His will opens the doors to the invisible. It is this understanding that changes everything. And when your heart deeply integrates it, the miracles begin. The story of a man who lost everything. In a distant city, there lived a man named Ibrahim. One day, a fire reduced his house to ashes. His business collapsed. His money is gone. Everything he had built all his life had disappeared overnight. People asked him, "What are you going to do now?" But Ibrahim neither collapsed nor lamented. He just smiled and replied calmly, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. His friends were surprised. How could he remain so calm after such a disaster? But Ibrahim knew something they didn't. Every loss is preparation for a greater gain. A few months later, Allah gave him a new home, an even more prosperous business, and an inner peace he had never known before. When you cling to Allah, He always lifts you up. Allah is with those who endure with patience. Surah Al-Baqarah 253. And you? What if you started today to repeat this invocation every day? Imagine, what burden could you lighten? What invisible door could open in your life? What if your destiny was changing right now? How to practice this invocation for 7 days. So how can you incorporate this practice into your life? Here is a simple yet powerful plan. Morning. Before you even touch your phone, close your eyes and say, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah 40 fois. Feel every word. Afternoon. In a moment of fatigue or doubt, repeat 40 times. Let these words recharge your energy. Evening. Before sleeping, in a moment of silence, recite them again 40 times. Feel the peace envelop you. And call upon your Lord within yourself, with humility and fear, in a low voice, morning and evening, and do not be among the heedless. Surah Al-A'raf 7:205. Do this for 7 days, and observe the changes. Do you dare to try? Many will seek complicated solutions to their problems, while the solution has always been there at your fingertips. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. These words have been a secret to the wise, a weapon to the prophets, a light to lost souls. Now they are in your hands. Are you going to use them? If you are ready to take on this spiritual challenge, write in the comments, "I'm starting today." And above all, share this wisdom with those around you. Maybe a simple reminder will change someone's life.